This is my backyard saltwater tide pool, and today we're gonna be adding the very first living animals. We're gonna be adding invertebrates, a mangrove, and even the very first couple fish. But if I mess this up, the entire system could crash. Hey guys, welcome back to Colson's Critters. I'm Colson Smith, and if you're new here, I have some pretty unique animals, and this right here is my backyard saltwater tide pool. It's finally ready for life. Last few weeks, we've been building this here on the channel. If you haven't been following along, make sure you guys subscribe so you can follow along with this build. But I'm basically making an outdoor tide pool in my backyard, so I want to mimic a tide pool area. Hence why we have our rock structure coming out of the water. It's a shallow tank here. It's only 2 feet tall. So we're trying to mimic kind of like a tide pool that you would see at the beach. Now, before we go ahead and add our livestock into this, we need to make sure our parameters are good. The first thing we need to check is temperature. Right now, the pond is sitting currently about 78, 79 degrees, so our temperature is spot on. We have 2 big heaters down at the bottom of our filter, which are keeping this thing nice and warm. We also have this external pump, which pumps under the ground 2 feet, all the way around this way and back into the pond. Now the ground kind of regulates temperature, so it'll help keep the pond regulating that temperature, whatever's in that tube, which will just keep it a little cooler or a little warmer depending on what the temperature is outside. It'll keep it regulated to about 75 degrees. Florida, it does get pretty hot, sometimes even to 100 degrees, so we do have a chiller as backup for the summertime. Right now it's like Christmas time, so it's a little bit chilly outside, so that's why we have those 2 heaters on there. We also went ahead and added these sunshades on the sides of the pond to block out any of the sun. Now the second thing we want to check is our salinity, and we're going to use this thing called a refractometer. You're going to look inside with the water on it and just make sure the salinity is perfect. Now we're going to use a little thing called a refractometer. You're going to look into the light with water in it, and on the left side I believe it's going to say 1.025. On the right you want it to say about 35 parts per million. You can go anywhere from 1.023 to 1.026, and even for fish only, which we're doing here, you can go as low as 1.020. But we're going to keep ours at 1.025 to mimic the ocean. So our salinity is perfect. And now let's head to the next step. Now the final parameter that we need to make sure is good is gonna be ammonia and nitrite. We wanna make sure this tank is fully cycled. So let's go ahead and take a water sample to the fish store, go ahead and do a full test on it and make sure we're good to go, and there's no ammonia and no nitrite. Nitrate is safe, nitrite with an I and ammonia are the bad ones. So let's go take our water sample to the fish store. All right, let's do our water test, see if the pond is ready. Hey, the pond is ready. Now that our water was tested and we're good to go for fish and inverts, let's go pick up the very first critters that are going into the pond, head back to the fish store, pick those guys up. We're gonna get some inverts and then we'll come back here.
Tell me what I'm doing.
All right, we're getting 10 turbos today, Bodie. We're here with Bodie.
Hey, what's going on?
New guy at Top Shelf. We're gonna be getting 10 turbos for the pond and 10 conchs for the pond. So Bodie's gonna help pick out the biggest ones he can find. These guys are pretty jumbo. Getting ready for Black Friday. We have a bunch of stuff here for Black Friday. This video we posted definitely after Black Friday, so I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving as well as a good Black Friday. I hope you guys came in, said hi, got some cool stuff. We're gonna show you some of the things we have for Black Friday. We have a ton of fish and inverts right now. We have a lot of fish. Look at how many hippo tanks, pintail fairies. We got like a whole school of algae bunnies. We got a whole school of sailfin tanks, niger triggers. We got this massive queen angel. We are loaded up on fish right now. I am gonna need your guys' help picking out some fish for the pond, so make sure you guys leave your suggestions of what you want to see in the pond down below. Comment that right now. What do you want to see in the 600-gallon pond? I want to keep it somewhat big, but also not too aggressive that can be with other fish. I want to stick to like tangs, angels, butterflies, anything that will get a little bit bigger that we can keep with maybe a future shark or stingray or something, but leave your comment suggestions down below. All right, Bodie bagged up the turbos. Oh yeah, those are big guys. Those are gonna be perfect. And I got the conchs, so let's head home. Get it home, I put the inverts in, they're floating right now. So I'll get back to you guys in about 15-20 minutes. Obviously it's pitch black outside, so we'll have to use a flashlight for this, but I'll get back to you guys in 15-20 minutes when we're putting them in the pond. It has been probably about 30 minutes. I ate dinner, came back out here. Let's go ahead and add our very first sea creatures into the pond. Let's go ahead and pop them open. I don't want to add their water in here. I'd like to keep it separate, so we'll just go ahead and open it up here and pour it on the floor. Let's go ahead and add these in here. We got some tiger sand conchs. We got 10 of these guys. We're starting off slow, so I'm adding 10 of them now, And then in the future, we'll be adding more once the algae grows. So, and next we got the Mexican turbos, which we also got 10 of. Like I said, we're adding more inverts later on. This is just a start. I don't want to overload it right away. There's really not too much algae, so these guys are pretty cool. They get pretty big. Add those in. I'm gonna add them in a little nicer than the conchs because they can't really flip themselves over, so we'll help them out a little bit. It is the next day and the inverts are doing absolutely amazing. And let me do a little bit of explaining. I wanted to do it last night, but it was a little bit dark, so figured I would just do it the next day. We're gonna explain why I picked what inverts we did. Now, like you guys saw, I picked 10 Mexican turbo snails and 10 tiger sand conchs, and hence the name for the sand conchs. They're gonna be cleaning up our sand. Now, in spots like that, or that, where it's a little bit dirtier than out here, those conchs just haven't gotten to that yet. But they are gonna be cleaning up and eating. You can kind of see them eat and munch away at the sand. They're gonna clean the sand pretty well. 10 of them isn't too many for a 600-gallon pond like this. We are gonna wanna start very slow when adding livestock to any tank or anything at all. So we're gonna be adding just inverts, wait a while, and then we're gonna be adding fish again later. So yeah, the tiger sand conchs are gonna be great for the sand, and the Mexican turbos are gonna help everywhere else. So they're gonna do the sidewall, the rock, and eat all that algae that's covered on the rock or the sidewall or the glass or whatever you wanna call it. Glass would be of your aquarium at home. They're gonna do a great job for that. Now, I picked Mexican turbo snails just because of how big they are. Since we have a pretty big system, they'll be able to cover more ground. But in a smaller aquarium, I recommend doing Trochus or even Astrea snails. Huge shout out to my boy Kyle over at Top Shelf, one of my coworkers. Gave me these two little mangrove trees. They're not too big, but they're gonna look absolutely amazing in the center of this pond. I have seen all of your guys' comments, get a mangrove, you guys should get mangroves. So I did it. Shout out to Kyle. Make sure you say W Kyle in the comments down below for giving us the mangroves. Now, like I've explained before, all of these, mainly like the tube, all those tubes will not really be there. Most of these are temporary / we'll be hiding them or moving them. So don't worry too much about that. But today, after we've added the inverts, we're gonna be adding these mangroves. We're also gonna be adding in some sponge. My dad picked up some sponge from Top Shelf earlier today. He thought it'd be a cool addition, and I agree. So we got some sponge there and a sponge there. Now, the reason we got sponge is we have a fish that loves to eat sponge. That's all the hints I'm gonna give you. I already bought the fish, it's inside right now. We're gonna go ahead and add the sponge in first, and then we'll do the mangroves later tonight. All right, I got some sponge into this tub here. I have this really cool tub that we're gonna be using to put the fish in as well. You guys will be able to see them, get a good look at them before they're in the tank. I wanted to show you guys this piece of sponge. It's literally on an oyster or something, which is super cool. So it's gonna be a really cool addition. You can see him opening up right now. He's getting mad at me. Such a cool addition for the pond. And then we also got a peppermint shrimp that was in the bag. So free peppermint shrimp's pretty cool. Go ahead and add this little peppermint shrimp in real quick. First shrimp in the pond. Here he goes. Come on, buddy. And there's no fish in here to eat him at the moment, so he's got this whole thing to himself. All right, we're getting in the pond now. I'm using my phone because I didn't want to drop the camera in the water. One here I think would be cool, and then we'll add one over this way. That looks like a good spot to me. Some of the things we're gonna be using is this crushed coral from Aquaforest, so shout out to them for sending me this. Also this super fine grade bio sand and this little pot from Home Depot. We're gonna go ahead and add the crushed coral at the bottom, so that way sand doesn't basically fall through these holes. We're also gonna wanna drill some holes in the side of this thing, that way water can flow through easily and our mangroves will be able to get that water from the pond. We're gonna go ahead and add this right here. I think this is a good spot for it. Dude, that looks good. Boom, we got it in. That is our final product for right now. Eventually I wanna crush up one of these rocks that I have extra of and put it around the pot so you don't see it as well. But I think that looks pretty sick. What do you guys think? You like the mangrove? Now the mangrove is not only gonna look good, but it's also gonna provide covers for some critters that I wanna put in this pond in the future, as well as it's also gonna pull out nutrients and extra waste out of the water. When I tell you I have some really special plans for the top of this rock structure, I mean, I have some really cool special plans that you've probably never seen before, ever, at least in a outdoor pond like this. I mean, I've never seen it before. I've never seen anyone do this before. So We'll see how it goes. I think it's gonna be really cool. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. I'm super excited. Now, before we add the fish, we wanna make sure they're nice and safe. So we're gonna go ahead and add a netting over the top of the pond. That way it prevents anything from jumping as well as anything from getting in and attacking our fish. So what we're gonna do is screw a screw every about 6 inches or so all the way around the pond, and then we're gonna take our netting and latch the netting, just hang it right over those screws, and that'll keep it nice and secure and make sure our fish don't end up on the floor in the morning. And ladies and gentlemen, it has been a minute since I've added those inverts. It's been a couple weeks now. I think it's finally time for us to add a fish. Now, secretly, I bought a fish that I kept secret from you guys, and I've had him for a couple weeks now. He's just been in my tank inside, and we're gonna be adding him in here as well as 2 other fish that I've had for a while in that tank too. One of my dream fish, one of my dad's dream fish, and it is a fish that is in Finding Nemo. So without further ado, let's go show you what we got. It is time to catch our rabbit fish, starry rabbit, and our magnificent fox face, as well as a secret fish down there that you guys don't know about. Go ahead and catch those, put it in the bucket. We'll get them outside. My dad's about to be home. I wanted to wait for him because it's his birthday. And the 3rd fish that we're putting in there is his all-time favorite fish that he's been wanting for a very long time. It is time to add the fish into the pond. Sorry it's a little dark, but we'll get an update on them in the morning. We got the Moorish idol, we have the starry rabbit, and we have our beautiful, magnificent fox face here. So let's go ahead and get them in the pond. We'll start with the starry rabbit. This is venomous too, so gotta be a little careful. There he goes. First fish in the pond, ladies and gentlemen. That is gonna be really cool. Let's get the the fox face in there, which is a rabbit. There you go, buddy. Be free.
He's a lot braver.
Whoa, fast mover. And my personal favorite, as well as my dad's favorite fish, we have the Moorish idol. What a stunner. He's growing a streamer back too, which is really cool. You ready? Here he goes. Woo! That is a pretty fish. Look at that. Dude, that's gonna be so cool. We'll have to give you guys an update in the morning when we see all of them out in the sunlight. My dad just spotted the starry rabbit right under that rock there. So, a little terrified now, but they'll get used to this and they'll be out and about, hopefully eating right out of our hands like they were in the 90-gallon. Yeah, I'll catch y'all in the morning when they've been a little bit more used to the tank. This is the next day, so let's go ahead and find our fish. Oh my gosh, you see the Moorish idol right there. As I'm saying that, Moorish idol is out and about. Look at how pretty that fish is. Let's go grab some food real quick and feed them because I want to see if they're eating right away. We'll open this blinds up so we get some nice sunlight in here so you guys can see a lot better, and we'll turn the flow off. But let's go grab some food. All right, we got a chunk of mysis here. Moorish idol is right there, so hopefully he'll eat. And we got the fox face right under that tunnel there too, so let's go ahead and feed him. Start defrosting it. Hopefully he'll come over and smack some food, and hopefully the rabbit fish come out too. He should be eating. Boom! Ate. Oh yeah, he's going crazy. Go for it. Moorish idol looks great. He just, the foxface and rabbitfish are hiding for sure. I mean, eventually they'll get used to it and they'll come out and hopefully eat right out of our hands. We just got to give them some time to settle in. So make sure you guys stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so you can be notified when I post another video of this pond. You can kind of see the foxface's nose right there. See it? Right there. You can kind of see him. What's up, buddy? He'll get used to it eventually. But our inverts are doing really well. So we got the conchs, they're all doing a really good job. This sponge here in the front is looking a little dull, so I think I might move it back over where this guy is over here. He looks a lot happier over here, this sponge. This clam thing, or whatever it is, a scallop clam, if you guys know, let me know in the comments. It's really cool. I really actually like it a lot. I'm super happy we ended up finding that piece. It's kind of a unique thing to have in here, and that's kind of what I want to do with this tide pool, is have some unique stuff that you would see in the tide pool, but not really see in someone's reef tank per se. So we're gonna have some pretty cool stuff in here. Make sure you guys stay tuned. I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too. But make sure you guys stay tuned. I can't wait to put more fish in here. It's super exciting. We'll wait another probably week or so before we add anything else, just that way I know this is good for fish and everything's running smoothly. But definitely leave fish suggestions down below. Comment right now, what should we put in the pond? I'm gonna be reading all the comments. I do have some ideas for what I want to go in here, but I want your guys' opinion as well. So leave your comment suggestions down below. What should go in the pond? Subscribe if you're new here, and make sure you like the video. Till next time, peace.